Okay, so I want to put a little bit of context to this video. I do not want to mislead people into saying that anybody who marries a Filipina will have this type of experience. This is just the experience that I have had, and I'm just sharing that with you. And everybody has their own lifestyle, and um, when they consummate a relationship with anybody else, they will navigate those dynamics uh, and have their own experience. But having said that, I just want to share with you the impact of um, my wedding or marriage over the last 21 years. Now, I'm a type of person who is pretty comfortable at being on my own. For most of my life, I was very private person, not a large social circle. And when I was introduced to my wife uh, back there before we got married, I soon realized that my life would never be the same again. And I just want to share with you what I mean by that. Now, of course, when you're on your own, you're used to having your own routine, your privacy, um, and then you get into a relationship. Of course, things are going to change. Um, you're now sharing a world with that person intimately, and there are there's an adjustment for both sides, and you're you're giving up certain things, but you're gaining others, and those are obvious. Now, the context of where I'm coming from is Lorenza's Philippine community. Now, the thing is with the Filipinos, and I know it's a general observation, um, not all Filipinos are the same, but most fall into a category of being very strong relationship in their community, and in the context of spirituality. It's well known fact 90% of Philippines follow a Christian religion and lifestyle. And this is very important to them. And they are open about it. And for someone like me, I'm comfortable with it. And many North American men are. But we are more reserved. We're not as outgoing. We're not as flamboyant about our faith for the most part, and we have our boundaries. Now, the thing is with the Filipinos, they respect those boundaries. So any Westerner who comes into their Christianity world are welcome, and they're very friendly with those people, very polite, and they respect boundaries. They're not pushy about it. They're absolutely okay with you just being more quiet, more reserved than that. So that is a big staple in the Filipino culture. and that dictates a lot of their social network amongst themselves. So um, Lorenza's has some immediate family here in Canada, and they convene weekly uh, with their fellowships, and that extends to all the birthday parties, all the celebrations of the holidays, and um, and weddings and all of that sort of thing, and then into camping, um, just having fun together. So this is a whole new thing for me, because when I was single, I didn't have this immediate connection with outsiders beyond my work environment, and those work environments rarely went beyond the office. So don't be surprised if you get into a relationship with a Filipina and you find yourself um, being volunteered for being part of a wedding party, sponsor, or in the groom's party. Um, you're going to be attending birthday parties, especially the 18th birthday party, 18th year, and they all those events are all structured with different things. Don't be surprised when a child is born that you're going to be a godfather to that child. Um, when when you join a camping expedition, just bring an extra bottle of wine or a couple of beers for the guys. Um, these are the kinds of things and then the other thing I discovered is that recently I started learning how to play bass guitar. Well, as soon as they found out about that, I was volunteered into a new band, working new songs and stuff. So that's not something I was planning on, but hey, that's cool. I'm open to it. It gives me the ability to develop my bass playing skills. So the other thing about this is that if you're living in the Philippines, of course, all that is present. But if you meet your Filipina friend, whether it's in the Western country or in the Philippines, and then you live in the Western country, your Filipino spouse will have an extensive circle of friends in your home country. They have connections all in certain companies, the nursing sectors, healthcare, manufacturing companies. They're all over, and they have their network of Filipino churches all over the Western world. And those churches, they have their regular gatherings, and on top of that, they still connect back with the Philippines and support their community back home, whether it's through calamity funds or missionaries, or cultural or just infrastructure development. They all still support their home country. They're still connected strongly with their country back home. And if you're in Canada or the US and you marry somebody, you have a spouse from that country, you're likely not going to get that kind of environment to experience. Now, this is, of course, not exclusive to Filipinas. it's going to be the same for other ethnicities as well as other Asian cultures: Chinese, Korean, Vietnamese, Japanese, Indian, um, certain Middle East cultures, African. It's basically all the same sort of thing. But like I said, it's not just a matter of finding a Filipina companion and uh, an oasis in the Philippines, and that's your retirement. No, what you're doing is you're introducing yourself to a whole expanded network of social culture, and it's an added bonus. I mean, and even for me, I'm still a quiet, reserved person, so I'll find myself at a lot of these gatherings and still find myself just meandering about and not really delving too much into the uh, the environment. Mostly because a lot of them are just they're just speaking in their native tongue, or like I call it, speaking in tongues. So my input is based on how many of them are communicating with me in English. So anyway, I just wanted to put that out there, um, just to say that yeah, these last 21 years have been quite a ride. That if had I not met Lorenza and had this relationship, I would have never had this type of experience. My life would be a little bit more gray. But now with this, there's a certain, definitely, uh, color. So just wanted to share that with you. That's it for today.